Hi, this is Darren from Primal Gym, back with part 2 of our shoulder fix series. So last week we went over what the main causes were. We talked about that capsule with the head of the arm sat in there, the whole thing being unstable. That's the main cause. We went over posture, spinal position, being sort of too hunched over and having the head too far forwards. We need to do lots of back work, band work, things like that, pulls that are going to pull us in. Today we're going to go over the next tip, tip 2. First one was posture, optimize your posture. Tip 2 is optimize your core function. Now, it's been said, Charles Poliquin famously said, you can't fire a cannon from a canoe. Your arm movements, your leg movements, whatever's going on the periphery is all stabilized by the core. So if you haven't got good core function, if you haven't got good stability in the core, then any movement made in the extremities with your shoulders, with your legs, etc., all of those are going to be deficient in stability. Okay, so, and if you haven't got optimum stability, then you don't have optimum mobility either. Those things go together. So when we're looking at training core, the main thing I recommend is don't do too many crunches. If you're getting shoulder injuries, shoulder issues, you don't want to do any exercise that's going to pull you further forwards. And if we do a lot of upper abdominal work, which is your crunches and things like that, then we're going to tighten up these muscles. That's going to pull us forwards. And then again, we're into this kind of issue with our shoulder mobility. Okay, so the first thing is do lots of lower core work, planks, things like that. Make sure that you've got optimum position in those. If you're unsure, work with a coach to get this fixed. So that's your core function. Tip 3 of the 10 is elbow position. So a lot of people suffer from shoulder injuries when they're pressing. Now, again, if we turn this way, if we have this, take this head of the arm here, if we slide the elbows back in any position where we come back further than midline, what happens is relatively the head of the arm is sliding forwards into that capsule. So if you're getting pinching or soreness after you've been pressing on a day, chest pressing, shoulder pressing, then you want to shorten down your range of motion. Okay, ideally we don't want to press where the elbows come past the midline of the body, because then again we're going to get what's called anterior glide in that head of the arm. So floor pressing, where the elbows have to stop at the floor, you can use pads where you shove up your jumper so the barbell can only come to a certain height, or you can just use a spotter. Either way, we want to make sure that we limit that range of motion in the chest, in the pressing position, so that you can still work your chest and your pushing muscles, but without causing a problem. Obviously, things like flies, big cable flies where we're pulling the arms right back, those things have got to be monitored and you need to adjust those. Tip 4, pull downs and squat position. So with lat pull downs, the biggest mistake is people doing lat pull downs behind the head. Now, if you've got shoulder issues, again, when we pull down behind the head, we're pushing the head forwards, and we're also getting that anterior glide in the head of the arm, again pushing into the shoulder capsule. So lat pull downs to the front if you are going to do them, and try and retract the muscles in the middle of the back as well as the lats to balance that out. Final thing, squat position. Okay, if you're squatting, back squatting, and again we've got that bar behind the head, we're kind of forcing the head forward slightly, but most importantly, we've got that stress in the shoulder again from this position. A lot of people get shoulder injuries after they've been squatting. Simple fix, do it from the front. Ideally do it with a kettlebell so that you can hold it nice and tight, keep the shoulders in. You can still get your squat. You can't go as heavy, but slow the movement down. At least that way you're not going to be exacerbating the issue with causing problems in the shoulders. Okay, so that's tip 2, 3, and 4. Next time we'll go over the next bunch of tips, and I'll see you next time.